All right. Good morning, everybody. Let me remove this. What is it? Starting soon. Bum. Okay, I'm just gonna do a price action analysis on BTC today, just to show you guys how in over this how things go in the chart and what you can kind of come up with by analyzing the trend really well. This is something that price action is not a strategy that I use most of the time. It's for sure a part of my trading when it comes to horizontal levels, but this is something that I find very interesting, and that is something that should be done on every single chart very carefully to really understand, let's say, the story of the trend, the story of the coin itself. This is of course hard to do in crypto because we have so many coins to check every time, and that's a reason why traders go nuts, because they cannot really focus on one coin and really see nice price action, because most of the coins are really manipulated, right? And then the market all dump at once when BTC drops, and all pumps at once, and then, as I've seen many times now, um, there's so much manipulation, shilling, pump and dumps, that sometimes it's not really easy to understand what's going on. But at least in BTC, tiny bit we can kind of um, understand a few things here and there, but I think it's still hard compared to Forex, for example, compared to Forex, where the market it's hardly manipulated. You have to move so much money in order to pump a coin, a pair in Forex. This is a cryptocurrency. So I'm just going to read the chart with you and see if you guys can catch those ideas that come into my mind when I try to read. And this video is going to be about buyers and sellers, and see who's strong here and who's winning, who's trying to stop the other out. So there are many things we can see when we do price action analysis, and this has to do with uh, how much push down there is, look at the candles, look at the volume, look at the wicks, and look at the short support that happened in this little trend. Anyways, let's start with something. So first of all, I'm charting on 4-hour time frame. Why? Because I just want to see what's going on, right? What's going on in the mid-term, short term. Of course, if I'm reading the 1-day chart, that's another story. I'm making my assumption on the overall trend. So because I want to know what's gonna happen sooner, I rather go in a lower time frame. I'm not gonna chart the weekly, because the weekly many things can happen. If I just check on this, you guys can see there's not too much of a correction here. If I take all these this candle, so I'm gonna go to 4-hour, and that's how you pick your time frame. Pick your time frame um, by deciding what kind of trade you want to do at some point, right? And how much you really want to see. Because if I want, I can go to 15 minutes and chart the 15 minutes time frame. But do I really need to see everything? Do I really need to see what's going on here if I'm charting the 15 minutes time frame? Probably not. If I switch to 15 minutes and I check the chart, I probably just need to see what's going on in just the last part of the trend and try to make my scalp trades, right? Of course, it's always good to know in which kind of if it's going up or it's going down, the overall trend. But right now we know it's ranging, it's trying to do something, so it's not even easy to know at that point where it's kind of going, if it's really going up here or it's just correcting and it's about to go down. So anyways, I just want to see price action in for our time frame, and I'm going to start to look, of course, from the pump, right? So we had this just a very quick look at the beginning. You know, we had this accumulation zone, right? That you guys all remember. This accumulation that lasted December, January, February, March, April, 4 or 5 months, and finally BTC broke that support in one huge shot. So that break tells me, of course, a lot, right? The big guys have been accumulating and price finally pumped, so there were tons of buyers, as you guys can see in the volume. Volume was massive, and you guys can see from the candle here it was dropping. Then we had some push up, but it was not that huge because sellers probably wanted to accumulate more, so they dumped the price again. They pushed the price down, and it went all the way down to 78%, then went back up again, then it got pushed down because you guys can see buying volume here wasn't that crazy. The selling volume was massive, as you guys can see how the coin was pushed down here with this massive red candle, but the buyers were still there, trying to push, slowly, and then boom, they let that go. So this was nice accumulation level for me to look at, and I'm gonna start from here in order to make my next price action analysis based on what's going on here. So first of all, I will learn from some of my guru, my friends, my favorite traders, and so on. Let's go back in the 4 hours because that's what we wanted to look. So for every wave that we see up, we have to see how much the trend is getting pushed down in order to see sometimes the retracement. And if I consider, let's say, this little... Hey Elisa, probably you're the only one now. Thank you for coming. So now Elisa is watching. It's gonna give me anxiety, but just kidding. Okay, so every time we see a push up, we have to see how much something retrace. Why we do that, and you know, me and Lisa do that a lot with the Fibonacci retracement. Why is that important? It's important to know how much the selling pressure is at some point. So if we have a massive candle and from this candle we see a retracement all the way down, and we do, let's say, 88% retracement, that means like sellers are like trying to really smash the buyer and really fighting against him. On the other hand, for example, here we have buyers coming into the market, and then yeah, they get stopped out here a little bit, but Is this something that we can really consider so important? Did really sellers scared our main buyer here? Not really. I mean, probably the buyer is saying, "Oh, they're like stopping me a little bit. Let's see what's going on." But the buyer pressure was stronger than the seller, and that's why BTC kept going up. And in this case, let's see how much that retracements was. It was 23% retracement, so nothing really to worry about if you want to sell in that situation. Custom color default. I like the colors. um, so nothing to worry about here because the retracement was not that strong. So why sell in this situation, right? Yeah, maybe you place a stop there, you might risk to get stopped out, but it's still looking good for the bulls. We had a little correction, then he pumps again, and in the chart now we have some bad wicks. This one was trying to break above resistance for the first time, and seller said nope, no now. The coins dump all the way down, and there was a pretty good correction. If we count from this level all the way up, there was almost 100% correction. So seller were saying, "Hey, it's not time yet, it's not time yet." But then right away there was a massive comeback up. This is, you don't see this, of course, from the 4-hour time frame. Let's go see in 2 hours. Let's see what we see. It's still a wick in the 2 hours. Maybe in 1 hour we see some candles. Oh, not really, not really. So I'm not gonna go inside more, but what this tells you, that the buyers are still there fighting. So even though we got pushed down here and it dropped, the buyers like, oh no, I'm here, boom, and they push up again. Okay, and then the trend keeps going sideways, sideways, sideways. This was a 50% retracement if we keep moving this tool. Okay, 50, 50, 50, another false breakdown to go down to this second level here, because we have a level here. I didn't trace, but this is a level where the sellers were pushing the price up. Then they probably got stopped out a few times. Price went up, dropped down to the buyer's level here again. So what we can tell from here, that even though the sellers are trying to push a little bit, they're not crazy moves that are really scaring the big buyer here, because we are doing an uptrend in this situation. We are on an uptrend. So if we are in an uptrend, that means buyers are getting in. They want to push the price. They're trying to buy, trying to go up, up, up. And then during the last part of this trend, buyers kept pushing the price even higher. They reached same high, still didn't make a higher high, as you guys can see. It got hammered again. And in this case, how much that seller pushed the price down? Let's check. Maybe I can go 15 minutes to see if the candle has some kind of a meaning or not. Where is it? It's very Look at that, that falls, and boom, the buyers coming back in. So lots of orders got triggered here, and we can consider that almost 38. And look the candles. Look how weak the pressure, the selling pressure was on those rejection, right? You can see the massive green, boom, buyers right there, and those weeks of the bottoms though. Yeah. And and there was not too much selling pressure here, so you guys can tell here the buyers are still here. And then we made an higher high, almost actually, because if I trace the wick of this last high, almost he break above it, but was not able to close above that level. Then he tried again, and it was not able to close. So what we were doing here at some point, we were doing what, um, the pattern that everybody likes, which is our nice kind of flat top. It's more a flat top. I think it's a flat top. Yeah, it's not the rising wedge, this one. Let's see how can I trace with the, what is triangle? Oh, here. I would consider this as a flat area, and I mean I can trace a better support. Can be this, or it can be just this level here with retouch. Anyway, something that was shaping a flat top triangle, so it was telling me, look, the buyers are there, are trying to push, let's go check a 3-minute chart, how the candle look. I hate when it does this. Just let me go where I was. Oh, here. I'm doing this price action live, so I didn't check these before. I've checked the part above, so I'm seeing stuff with you guys. So at least I can help too if you see something. Anyways, flat top triangle, or even called ascending triangle, is exactly the same thing. It's more a bullish pattern, but it can break down if sellers don't really want you to to break here. They're gonna push down, and look what happened with this candle. This is the candle that that puts out the market all the breakout traders. So he breaks out, and everybody's like, oh, let me buy, do. Boom, dead. Everybody got stopped out. So how many longs here? Everybody is breaking. So that's why we always say, just wait for the candles to close, because you never know. Breakout, it's a risky entry most of the time. And in crypto, unfortunately, sometimes the coin just goes and you miss it, as it was happening when 2 months ago that everything was breaking up with a retest. But I would say this red candle can be our retest, and then there is the real breakout, and you guys can see also, well, the volume is slightly increasing here, but of course it just shoots up on the main pump. So this is a bit of price action on this level. So we knew the buyers were there. We weren't seeing too much selling pressure, and at the end, boom, everything went up. So Well, this is massive. Let me go in the 4-hour chart. Oh, there we go. So all that thing that I've been talking about happened in this little trend. Okay, can kind of say the same thing. Of course, not that in detail, but we can see here the buyers were there, but not too much selling pressure. You guys can see the red candles were not that strong, and then boom, we went up all the way up. BTC went up about. Let's check from the this candle, all the green candles. 25% in this is what 4-hour candle. So when something like this happen, it's 100%, I would say 100% sure that these things will retrace very quick, because if somebody makes a is like scalping that, or everyone is looking at that candle, people are gonna make money off of it. So first of all, they're gonna sell, and then there are gonna be people that they wanna push the price down. But which is the real resistance? Which is the real level that we really need to look at? Well, in 4-hour chart, there is a wick here. Price reached there, it got hammered, and for me that's an important level, just because it got hammered here. So I'm gonna trace that wick, but it's not super important for now because there are other levels that we have to look at previously, and for sure are those retracements. They are very important. The retracements are important. Why? Because they tell us how much something has been hammering down. So how much is the selling pressure? And let's remember, because BitMEX and margin trading and leverage, this selling pressure can be strong because people are actually making money off of shorts. So that's really important to know. So let's go check in 1 hour. Let's see the wick. What happened there? Very fast, very quick wick down. When I see wicks so fast that happen into the market, most of the time I don't even count them. You guys can see here. It's just a bam bam, like it didn't last nothing. I don't really consider this as a good support. Sorry, yes, resistance. I will still trace my line here, but for me the most important level at this point is the retracement. So that's why I always trace my Fibonacci. Where we should trace the Fibonacci from? Where we should trace the Fibonacci from a point that we think the price really started to go without any sellers pushing down. I don't know if I say this I say this well in English, but if because there is no really big stops here, why should I trace the Fibonacci from here? I rather take from this level, because this is what happens with the Elliott waves, right? If I see something that goes up and then goes here like that a little bit, and then goes up and goes down, and then goes up and goes down, something like that. Oh, something like that, So I'm not gonna retrace. I mean, in the short term, if I want to make money off this little thing, in the lower time frame, I might trace this Fibonacci here, right? And see how much they retrace. It retraces nothing, but it's not really important at that point. The main point is this one. So it retraced 38%, and that's my level. Oh, it retraced 38. You know what? I might get in again if it starts to go, because selling pressure was not huge here. yes, it stopped the trend, it stopped the buyers, so it's an important level. It drops down, made a low, and then goes up again, make a higher high, and then usually it drops to where? Oh, what happened to my thing? It drops probably to that same level again, right? The support that the resistance that I trace here, and the resistance becomes support most of the time. So those are the levels that, of course, I want to look at. And what the trend is making higher high and higher lows. That's why I know it's an upper trend. But talking about Fibonacci levels, that's really important to know where you should trace your Fibonacci levels. And me and Elisa traced them all over the place because we want to see confluences. That's another approach. But as right now, that's the real Fibonacci I want to look at. Why should I even trace this? I mean, I can, but right now I'm looking at the big time frame, and I don't need this retracement as much as this one, which for me is more important. It tells me more. So in this case, I would trace my Fibonacci starting from I cannot cancel this all at once. No. I thought there was a tool. Eraser. Oh, no. Oh yeah, it does. I don't know, it works. It's a better eraser. Anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna trace my Fibonacci retracement from I can trace two. One from here, I would say for sure, because this didn't really stopped out our trend that much. And then I would trace, probably Lisa will agree with me, another one from where the pump started, possibly from these 3 minutes. If we put 4 hours, oh, pump start from a little bit lower, so I will trace this other one, right? Yeah, then you know you have to see, you have to try a few things, and this gets better more you trace them, because you'll see how they work at some point. And sometimes you have to adjust it to see which is the level that really matches with the trend. It's not that easy, but with the time and practice it gets for sure easier. Okay. Oh, there is no my 7070 here because I'm charting on Bitcoin here. Weird, I thought I had it. Anyways, we have a 7070 Fibonacci that you can add, maybe here, because I don't need this. 0.7070, and that goes added because it's a Fibonacci retracement. We see that works a lot in crypto. Anyways, what we were seeing, price action of this trend. So these things arrived all the way up. There was 5K level. There were probably some sellers there ready to get to hammer everybody there, or to sell, simply sell, because it's such a huge candle. The trend got rejected hard. When something happened that quick and there is a wick, the wick sometimes is not considered by me. Like as was not there, let's say, was not there. But you know, I still trace that level, because that level of things on top there can say something. But I'm not going to consider this as a huge retracement. For me, that will be the retracement up to there, right here. Okay. So in this case, I consider this, Yes, it got stopped out hard there. There was a very fast spike, so you have to see the situation where you at. We are tracing Bitcoin. Who knows what the hell happened here? Manipulations or um, on BitMEX making money there, short sellers, and the main candles closed here. I'm gonna see this action, and for me the trend retraced 23% at this level. So for me this is a level that I consider. And also here the main resistance, it's something that I will trace from those two candles, and this is some support, and I can also consider it. Okay. Okay. Then what happened? Was the selling pressure strong at this point? If we look at the 4-hour time frame, don't think about the lower time frame. Was it strong? Probably not. It was a 23% down, and buyers are here strong. So there was even sentiment there, like, oh my god, this thing is going, and people switch to bullish, and they're like, oh, what's going on? It broke, blah blah blah, everyone is happy. So that's here the other push, because there was good sentiment, volume, just not as much as a bad retracement. Coin went up again, reach almost the next level, but it didn't make it, right? It didn't make a higher high, which would have been good for the trend. It didn't. Let me trace this level. Boom. Let me trace this level, because it's an important level. Why is that important? Because if we trace a Fibonacci from here, from where it started, support, to here, this retraced 50%, right? There's a 50% retracement. That's good. I mean, good. That means, whoa, sellers are here to stop things a little bit. So it's not like this anymore, but they are showing more strength. Okay. Went down, buyers got back in, price went back up again to attempt another push up, and we can actually see 3 waves there. 3 waves. That's most of the time the price action that happens in the Elliott wave, even though the first one is massive, but it's still a good Elliott, because what's important in Elliott wave is the third one should not be the shortest. We can close this here, because this is a wick that just a crazy fake out, in my opinion. So in this case, this would be an Elliott that is valid. The 1 and the 4 don't cross each other, and the third is not the shortest, even though we want to go here. Maybe it is the short, almost as long as 5, and that's fine for me. It's not the best Elliott wave I ever traced, but I'm talking about price action. Oh, what did I do? Yo. Can I go back? No. What was XBTUSD? Here we go. So the important level to look at right now, there are 2 in my opinion. One is this, okay, and I think I should actually hide the next part, so you guys don't know what's going on. There you go. All right. So it's all It's all about, asking yourself what's going on, like what traders are trying to do when we check the trend. What sellers are doing, what buyers are doing, who's stronger here, who's less strong, right? So here buyers were stronger. We have a little retracement, 23%. Sellers are hammering there, but we explain why this week is not really to consider, because just people were selling, don't care too much about what's going on after such a spike. They're gonna sell, make their money, and then think later. Then there is another push up because sentiment was good, but in this case we had a 50% retracement. So there was a pretty good retracement. Sellers were there. Sellers are there, trying to stop these buyers here. So I have to put an alert on these things. I gotta think, oh, watch out, because the sellers are getting in, and they're getting stronger, right? Then there is the last push, and that's what happened on an impulse wave of Elliott. So there's going to be another move up most of the time. And what happened? Price went up, trying to make a higher high, and that would have been good if we make a higher high, because we know higher high means strength, buyers are there. And what happened there? Boom! Hammered even stronger. I'm gonna make my hammer even bigger here. Even bigger here. Almost made a higher high on a 4-hour time frame, but candle closed at the same level, was not able to break above that level, and got pushed down a lot. So buyers in this case were way less than the sellers. So this candle, they actually made a bearish engulfing. You guys can see that. So the red candles totally engulfs the previous candles, and it's a bearish engulfing. So it's telling you that the selling pressure is strong now, even though we reached all the way down, and there was buyers that were fighting this. Okay, oh no, I'm not going to let you go down here. But still, and you can see from the volume here, the selling pressure was way stronger than the buyers. So in this case, what I would do, there are other Fibonacci that I can trace to check how much the retracement was. I can trace one from those levels and see that is 23%. So if I look at that like this, I'm saying yes, it's a good retracement, but it's not as strong as that he reached 61, 70. He reached 38 and almost closed at 23. So buyers on the overall trend are still in control of everything, but the sellers are getting stronger and stronger. Look at the candles here. Sellers weak, sellers are there, and here sellers are like trying to hammer. So at this point, I'm going to consider a small retracement. I'm going to consider that retracement, and the retracement is going to happen also because there is this bearish engulfing that we have noticed. Bearish engulfing didn't happen here, happened here. So that's why the retracement probably happened after. Okay, they'll push down. This is still the move that comes from that rejection here, from that bounce. So there is a move up. But we have sellers are starting to get stronger here, so it was not able to make a higher high here and dropped from there. Here, what is it? Okay, and is dropping always where? On the previous support that we traced this important level. There was resistance. This is resistance and support flip. This was important because, you know, I explained before why. It's a level that it's the wall. It's where things have been stopped out, right? So it bounced on that level because even though sellers here are getting stronger, are still not stronger than the overall buyers, right? Because we have said that this trend is retracing, but it's not retracing hard, it's retracing just still 38%. If I don't consider that wick right here, okay, this wick sometimes not considered a fake out, like it's not there. So read is 38%. Buyers are still there, so I'm going to expect fighting going on here, for sure, because I've seen that both are there to push down or keep up. So the buyers kick in again. Not as strong. Why not as strong? Because this candle is not really massive, right? The volume here is not higher than the red, the selling pressure, so it's not as strong. They're coming in. So they're kind of 50-50 right now. Buys are pushing, sellers are not pushing too much. Right here we had a nice candle. That was a good one. That was a good one, but we have to see if we can break above it, because that's the level that we are now focusing on. Why? Because it's a level that has been reached twice. First of all on this wick, second on this one, but was not able to close above. So that the level that it's important right now is this one, the black one. So if you can break that and stay above it, that can be a good thing. Nice candle here, and then try to break. Nope. Sellers say no. There was a correction all the way down, and in this case I would trace another retracement of this just little trend from here to there. How much this thing retraced? 70, 78. Is that a good retracement? Yeah, it's an important retracement. Let's see the selling pressure here. It's not as strong as the buying pressure, and we can see that buyers were still here, trying to push the price up. So there is this fight going on. So that's when, you know, we say it's ranging, right? It's ranging because there's the seller on top, buyers at the bottom, everybody's pushing in different ways. So the fight is going on. Let's see what happens after. Boom. Very small price action here. You guys can see they're trying. We have to see who's gonna win. Volume is kicking in a bit. So what the overall trend is telling you now, like not the overall trend, sorry, just this part. What tells you? Well, it's an upper trend. Buyers are more than the sellers, even though the sellers are trying to avoid this the price to go up. Okay, so they're trying to break, and this can look like a flat top too, or maybe a triangle, right? More a flat top, considering this flat resistance. Okay, so I'm going to expect something that goes up, and again trying to break the resistance and making a higher high. See what's going on. Oh, That they broke. That's good. That's good. Boom. Hammered again. God damn it. So you guys can see how strong the fight that we are seeing right now. So it's been pushing, and that's what happened a lot in crypto. We are at the critical level 5k 5.3, has been pushing hard right now again. Boom. How many time has been pushed really strong? Maybe one time here, because I don't count this as a good push. Let's see how much that retraced. It is at 38. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be a little Elliott, but I count this as the main one. So there are, every time there are like 3 waves, I'm going to expect a possible correction, right? As it happened. As it happened here, right? 1, 2, main push, 3, and then boom, correction. So I'm going to look for something similar here, and I can count this. Maybe I like to count this. I see this as a main move. 1 push, 2 push, the make. Let's see if he makes the other one. Look at this black line, right? The black level that we were checking before. That was a very good level for us. The trend broke above that level and was staying above it, even though the sellers were there. It tried last time, and then boom, dead. And those were our 3 waves. 3 waves. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that happened, and the buyers have been trying to break, the seller kicked in again, and boom, 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 boom. They push the price down. If we can switch sometimes time frame just to see what's going on. We can see here different candles from a different perspective. In this case, we have this massive doji, and then engulfing a red candles that totally engulf the body of the previous one. That's a bearish sign. The sellers are really getting in, and the price dropped from there. Let's see what I can see here too. Something that really tells me that things are about to drop. Well, it's about how much selling pressure we see in this trend. Okay, the first was 38%, then there is a nice spike up and retrace 60%. From here, then we add another one that we can consider either from here or from here. I would say from here, that drops 60% again. So the first one 60%, on the other 60%. Then from here, how much this last wave retraced? That retraced 100%. So when that happened, 100%, that's a strong push by the sellers. I'm going to expect a drop because there are possibly 3 waves, here, and a strong push from the sellers. Touchdown here, so the sellers are now stronger, even though the volume is not that crazy higher than the first candle. Then everything changes every single exchange. but right now here are looking not okay. Most of the time we see an ABC correction too, right? Let me remove all those Fibonacci. Let's go back to our 4 hour, since we're looking at that 4 hour. Let's make everything clean again. Let's leave our level that we thought they were important. Of course, we always can also consider this as another level. Look how many times this line is retested. Can even go higher. Okay, so we're expecting a drop. It dropped, and then buyers lost their momentum here. Price is kind of going sideways, 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 sideways. Oh, something happened here. Buyers are trying to push the price up, but will it be able to go above our black line, which was the really important level? Not really. So boom, nice seller again. Almost went all the way down to the other level. Of course, now we're building up some other support, and dropped below the support. So sellers are strong here. Look at the volume here. Volume, nice candle there. Buyers are not reacting strong as before. Look how they were reacting on every dump here. Dump and they buy. Dump, not as strong, and they buy. Here, dump, boom, and they buy. So they're pushing. Here too, they tried. Went up and then dropped all the way down again. So they've been trying, they're getting tired. So before they were pushing and price was going down. Now they're pushing, but the sellers are stronger, right? So they're not pushing anymore. They're not pushing anymore, sellers. And then we are here right now. So what's going on now? The buyers are on this level. This let's make it pink. This is a level that buyers place their orders. I've been trying to push that level for quite a bit. They have tried again, but not as strong. Look at the massive candle. Look at how slow the reaction of the buyer is. We didn't see any green candle going above it. So as right now, it still look bearish to me. Still look bearish. It's ranging between the black and the pink at the moment. So we still right now. Oh. Make it red. It's still right now, yeah, not really safe to trade, and we really need to know when it's safe to trade in order to make our money in altcoins. Otherwise, it's not really smart for us to call any altcoins when we really don't know if BTC is gonna pump from me or not. But when we were around those levels, we are in an uptrend, so we have more intel. Something it's going on here. Like buyers are there, so we can trade altcoins in this little part. But right now it's ranging, so it's really risky. And we have seen buyers are going up here. Buyers now are getting weaker. Sellers are getting stronger, are pushing the price down. Here we were making higher high, higher lows, right? And that's what happened when we see those flag part pattern, those uptrend channels or rising wedge, however you want to call it. Buyers are stronger, then they get weaker, weaker, weaker. Sellers get in ahead of the market, and then the pattern drops. That's the dynamic behind the rising wedge. Now we're ranging. Sellers look stronger. There's a little buyers here, but it's really hard to tell at the moment what's going on. And what we can do, we can see how much the buyer are pushing. So we can do upside down Fibonacci levels. So I can trace the Fibonacci from here to there, as I did, right? As I did all the way up. And the buyers have been pushing 50%, which is like in the middle, right? So if they would have pushed to 23, I would have been more bearish, but they pushed quite a bit, 50% to the black line, which is our important level. Why it doesn't make it? It doesn't make it. What is it? Here. And the pink line. I think it's important too. Where's the style? I put the style up. Okay. Okay. So we're here, guys, and we have to see if we can go above the black again. That would be important, because we have to see that's a nice support. This was resistance, then it turned into support. Now it's acting at resistance. So the black line is now what's important for us to see. Is Elisa still there? Probably she left. How long have been talking? 1 hour. Oh, thank you. So what do you think, Elisa? You still bearish? Let's see what starting but not very impulsive as yet. Okay. Let's see what else we can check, because it's good to look, like it's always good to look on both ways, right? So you have a better idea. And the fact that it's been dropping, it was making higher lows here. For the one that don't know this yet, I can make a little, let's say this one. It's higher high. That's too huge. Higher high, higher high, higher high. And that was the swing too. And this is higher low, higher low, higher low. Okay, actually here, higher low. Now it dropped, it made a lower low, because this low is lower than this one. So we broke market structure. So we are in a downtrend at the moment. So made a lower low. He went up and he make a lower high, right? Because he was not able to break above here, and here. Of course, didn't reach that at all. So a lower high. So at the moment, we are following this kind of downtrend. Okay, it's still not anything like super certain yet and confirmed. Can be a downtrend channel. I didn't trace my lines properly yet. but it didn't make yet a lower low. So because we are going down, and in this case because we might have an Elliott wave, an impulse, and we might expect an ABC correction. Why is this not as bad as it might be? Because it didn't make a lower low yet, so it didn't reach here. It actually got rejected on, sorry, bounced on the pink line. It's on the pink line. What this could be, if we break this level, this could be a small double bottom pattern. Pretty much what happened at BNB, kind of. You know, there was a retracement, and then there was that double bottom pattern that actually broke and went all the way up. Let's check. No, this is not the other chart. Where is it? BNB BTC. See, well, I don't know. This kind of the same thing. Well, I can take it as an example, I guess. The BNB chart is different, of course, but let's picture, just for a quick example, that this could have been the uptrend, right? As BTC, it dropped, it bounced twice. So even though the seller were strong here and broke the market structure, we didn't make a lower low at this level. So we had a double bottom. Double bottom means the buyers are not letting the coin drop more. That means we can there could be an upward move. The upward move would have been confirmed if we break, of course, the double bottom here, the neckline, and that's what happened. Now we're bouncing on next level, and we might keep going up. So of course we need to do a price action on BNB, but that's what might happen here. That's what might happen here. We have a double bottom on the. Let's see what Fibonacci there is. First of all, we have a 50% retracement of the bearish trend. Bearish trend retraced bullish 50%, and then we have I would say this wave. How much this wave retrace? Let's see that. Maybe it's 70-70. If it's 70-70, that would be interesting. Oh, look, that 70-70 right there. 70-70. Let me make it like that. Okay, you guys see the 70-70 is right there. Okay, I'm gonna make it clear. So we're bouncing the 70-70 pretty much as BNB did, right? And BNB after this made a nice double bottom. So what can we say from here? Boom. What can we say? Let's see, because I gotta see too. I didn't check this thing yet. So what can we see? Buyers are not strong, sellers are stronger here, that's for sure, in my opinion. But buyers are trying to push a little bit. They didn't let the price go lower than the pink area. So our main focus is going to be for sure this resistance at the moment. I'm gonna make an alert on this. Why? Because if we break that and we see some good candles, we break neckline, the buyers will be back in control of the market. XBT breaking important resistance level. You follow? So that's why price action is great. That's why I found it really interesting. That's why I'm trying to spend more time reading the chart in this way. That's how it should be done, instead of just, oh, you know what, this is a rising wedge, this is a double bottom. Like, you really need to know what's going on. And I learned this, day by day, day by day. Elisa helped me too a lot. Bonomo helped me too a lot, because they're Bonomo is straight price action, horizontal levels. Elisa does many things, but she analyzed the candles a lot, and the order flow, the order books, and how everything is looking. The problem with crypto is that I wish I could do all those little price action analysis on all the altcoins, but I would die before I finish 10 of them. Um, because it's just impossible. And then you do the price action, but the market is so manipulated that BTC dumps and all your analyses are gone. So it's no worth for me to do such price action, crazy analysis on a coin that then it can be pumped and dumped, it can be hyped, it can be shielded, and so on. So there are so many things in this market that I go crazy. They made me crazy, so that's important to know. Okay, with BTC, I can spend time on it because it's the guy, it's the king. We need to know what it has to do in order for us to trade. In Forex, that's what pretty much traders do. They have lots of pairs, but if I was a Forex trader, I would really focus on one chart, two chart, trade, know the story of the chart, know what's going on, know who's in control of the market, if the buyers and the seller are there, and go from there, you know. Anyways, to go back to BTC, we have this double bottom, so let's see if buyers want to push this thing up and they can beat the sellers. So far, nothing that tells me that. So I would consider this channel as a good one at the moment. This resistance. Okay. Let's switch time frames to see better things. So just something about time frames, like how you pick your time frame. Which time frame should you trace? Should you look at all time frames? Not really. It depends what you want from life. Okay. If you want to scalp, if you want to make money quick, and if you don't want to wait too much, why look at one day? Maybe you can look just to see the overall thing, but to be honest, if you want to scalp, all you need to know is this downtrend, and things are ranging here, and the coin is actually ranging, and you can buy here and sell a top, buy here and sell a top. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know what happened in the December 2017 if you are on a 50 minutes scalping there. Okay. But why I look at the daily and 4 hours and so on, because I want to know what's the outcome, the biggest outcome, the midterm of this coin. So I look at the higher time frame. And candles tell you many things. For example, here, I just see sellers selling, and buyers slowly getting into it, right? This is 4-hour time frame. Okay, so if I'm looking this chart, I'm not even thinking to buy inside this candle. Like, I cannot see nothing. So if I'm looking at 4-hour chart, I'm not going to think to scalp into this candle, because I can't. There is no level I can trace. But if this candle, which is 4-hour candle, so this is 4-hour chart, so every candle is 4 hour. If I go in 1 hour, that candle will be split in how much? How many? 4 candles, right? So let's make that yellow. If we go in 1 hour, sorry. Those are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Right there. So can I trade those candles? I still see no levels there. So this is dumping. I cannot make any assumption. I cannot trade that. If I go in 15 minutes though, I might see a few things. Look at those reaction of the buyers, right? Okay. So here I can trade. Right here, if I am I made a few consideration before, just a little bit before, I can make few trades here. Why? Because I know the sellers are strong here. I know the sellers are strong. The price reacts all the way up, so the buyers are getting in. But look at the candle how close it closed, such with the massive wick. So what can I tell here? I can tell that bam, they're getting hammered. So when this candle closed, I can open a short. I can open a short from this level, right? I can open a short from from here to there. As soon as this candle closed, you open the short, you would have made 2.4%, of course, depending on of course your risk and reward. That's a short position. Let's say if I would have placed here, I would have put a stop just very closed and close right here. That would have been 5R. That's a lot. I could even close that way before and made a 3R trade. Okay, so this is just an example how you can really really understand what time frame you want to do stuff, right? So this is 15 minutes time frame. I can see up and downs. I can make assumption. If I go 30 minutes, let's see what's going on. I can still make that trade because that candle closed like that. If I go 1 hour, I cannot make that trade. So I'm not even going to look at scalping in 1 hour because I can't. You got it? And this is the same thing with indicators, oscillators. Everything changes. Remember, there are tools. The tools will never change. Okay? If you draw something, it's gonna be like that, whatever time frame you change. So everything I drew here is never gonna change. My lines, my drawings, my LH, my channel, my accumulation zone, my double bottom, my levels, nothing's gonna change. Okay, candles are going to change, of course, and that will make my levels more precise sometimes. So if I trace this level, I can move this up to consider these candles, so I can adjust my level if I want. But remember, then I will change what I have been thinking in the higher time frame. So the higher time frame, in my opinion, matter the most. That's what you see. Okay, that's what the overall things are doing, and then those are the scalpers that are moving things too. So or it can be false breakouts. And you remember when you see false breakout in a lower time frame and you don't see that in the higher time frame, sometimes that can be skipped. Okay. um, if there was a very fast reaction, for example this one, right? I can consider support, this is just an example, this one. This is a better support. Why? 1 2 3 4 5 5 touch, except 2 that went out. Look, this candle went up, boom, went all the way up. This was a false breakout. That doesn't have to be the strongest support. Okay. So what I was saying here, talking about time frames. Ciao, Lisa. So what's going on here? Sellers are there. Let's see how much the buyers push the price up. I would say from here, where everything started, or from there down. So we are at about 38%. So that was a nice move. It was a nice push. Okay, so we have the selling pressure against the buying pressure, because this candle was green, right? Then it closed, actually it was red, then it closed up. So this big candle you can consider as green, and you guys can see that also from the volume. Sellers, buyers. So buyers are strong too, but not as strong as the sellers. And we had a nice push up, and now buyers are trying to keep the price up with not too much pressure. Look at the volume, right? But the price is going up, is going up, is going up. So what we have to see here, we have to see if this is just a correction and price is going to dump more, or buyers can keep sustain this uptrend to reach here and break main resistance. Actually, we have to break the channel first. Okay, and you can see this from the levels. I cannot trace any I won't be tracing any retracement right now, except if these candles drops, because I cannot really what retracement I can trace here. Those little red candles don't mean anything. If I go to 2 hours, they probably won't be there, as you can see, right? So if this candle though close below as it's doing right now, that means sellers are there, and we will do all the consideration that we did at the beginning. How much did he retrace? 50, blah blah blah. Okay, so I know this can be a little bit confusing for many of you that are new to this, but watch things again if you have to, and try to understand. This is the first time I do price action, I would say. I can consider this retracements to 50% buyers, and then the sellers are coming in again. And if this candle closed below the green, we will have a bearish engulfing, which could cause a more drop. Okay, so what's the main idea here? Is this a corrective wave, or is this an impulse wave? That's what we have to ask ourselves. So is this can be many things. Could be an A, B, C if we look at a higher time frame. Okay, if we go into 4 hours, we won't even see this, right? So is this a main correction? We could even arrive here. And in this case, we will test the pink area 1, 2, 3. When we retest it so much, usually things break down. Okay, Or is this an impulse wave? Impulse wave that will be, okay, let me move this or 1 2 3 4 5, and we go up. So that's our main problem right now. Okay, so many things you can see the chart, like it's unlimited. I didn't even talk about oscillators because I was saying all the tools that you use in this menu: Fibonacci, Elliott wave, text, trend lines, and so on. They don't change. I can change time frames, they don't change. But then we have our indicators, right? Indicators that in price action I don't use too much, but they can help. They can help, of course, if we scalp something, if the indicators are low, or to look for divergences. That's really important too. And you know, indicators as our cloud, our moving averages, our MACD, RSI, those things change every single time frame. Okay, and this indicator 2 hours RSI is telling me that it reached below, it bounced pretty low, and it's the same thing as price right now, so it's not telling me too much. This can be an impulse, or it can keep going down and follow the price. So I don't see any divergences between the RSI and the price in the 2-hour time frame. Okay, so I cannot make any really assumption at the moment by looking at this RSI. MACD2, WT cross, all those oscillators change every time frame. So, in order not to make it crazy, let's make things simple at the moment. So we have to see if we have to we can keep going up. Let's see how the buyers react here, and we have to see if this little uptrend is just a correction, or it can keep going up. And I will really be very interested, curious, if it can break this channel, which would be some kind of a bullish flag formation. What I do sometimes, I go in the lower time frame, I trace a Fibonacci of this little trend, and see how much this retrace. Okay, 38-50% retracement are good, are good in favor of the buyers. If we retrace a lot, that becomes more that's worst. Even though, you know, from 70, 78 we can see pumps, okay, but that's are more major. When we see impulse wave usually are smaller. So what I'm saying here is that we see a move up and the correction, then a move up and the correction sometimes is higher, okay, no higher, like deeper, and then we see another move up, and this move up, you know, as high as this one, and then these things can happen down, then it makes a higher low, sorry, a lower high, and then it drops. That's the classical Elliott wave pattern. Why these things happen? For all the things that we have been saying so far. First time, actually, I would even say this one is not that long. The first move, the pending, is not that long, because I mean, if it's a pump down of a group or whatever, it can be that long. But I would say those one are not so long. they start from here maybe, okay? And how much those things retrace? Sometimes 50%, 61, okay? Why? Because all the people that bought in this wave, they try to sell, okay? Those are the people that bought the coin at the bottom of the support. So there was not too much people looking at the trend at the moment, right? Those are the one that got the rumor. Those are the one that decide to risk and buy a all-time low. Those are the guys that are buying to hold, and price goes up because the news is out or whatever. Then they sell, and then of course in those impulse wave we have to see you have to see if a new wave starts. When this new wave starts, how many people are looking at this coin now? Way more than before. Why? Because volume monitors, everything is telling you that this coin is pumping. So everyone goes look at that coin and checks for the next wave that usually will be stronger up than the first wave. Why? Why stronger? I think it's clear why stronger, because there are many traders that are looking at this coin right now, and the third wave is usually way stronger than the first. And because there was a strong move, a nice stop will be there, and the trend might dump more than before. So in this case, the retracement can be deeper, 60% or 70%. Okay, and then it all depends, right? Depends how strong is the news, depends how much interest there is. There are many other things, right? But sometimes, of course, we see this resistance turning into support, right? For example, but doesn't happen all the time. Then we have a final move. The final move is like, okay, everyone knows about Elliott. Okay, there can be another wave. Let's catch that. Let's catch if it's bullish or not. There's less hope than here, of course. So that's why sometimes this wave it's not as high as here. It doesn't make a high like this, but it's very lower. Sometimes it can even make it. Sometimes it's stopped here. That means that the trend is just dying. Okay, this is happen most of the time when pump and dumps happen. Sorry, pump and dumps. When people FOMO into news. Okay, no rumors. There is a news. Goes up. Then this is the second wave, and then dead. There's not the third wave most of the time. And then what happened? This is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Remember, Elliott wave is always is good even if fifth stop here. Okay, or if you stop at the same level. Stop at the same level, it will actually make a double top too, or if it's even higher. Okay, and then what we see most of the time, we see a nice retracement, almost 100% of the bullish wave. Okay, we see this is 78. It can be 100. It can be lower too. Okay, can be lower too. Well, we can tell here, well, sellers are just hammering here, and it's time to sell. Then there will be buyers that will kind of take advantage of the little correction, and then final drop. Okay, so the final drop, that will be our classic ABC correction, let's say. Okay, so what we have seen here, on every wave, corrections are not that deep. Okay, except the 3 to 4. The 4 one can be lower. Actually, this is 60%. So the first one was 50, the second one was 50, 60. The last one is just hammer 100%. That's the worst one. Then we have a correction that can be 50% up, and then the last correction. So what I was why I was telling this, to show you that in the impulse wave the retracement are not so deep, because if we see a correction of 78% in the Elliott wave, that's not great, because we see the sellers are there already. That's not good for to look for. Oh, why I cannot go left? 1 second. If we see such a hard correction, that means the sellers are already there. We're not gonna see another impulse wave up. Okay. Oh, I cannot go left because it's the end of the thing. Anyways, is this overall correction, and this is an example, let's say it was starting from here now, just an example, is that the overall correction that might retrace our famous 70%, okay, or 78, or whatever, that like the major correction. So I'm going to look for 70-70 as 78% correction when I've seen 3 waves and an ABC, and that's when I'm looking for 70-70. But I'm not going to look for 70-70 during the impulse wave. Okay, there's just some reason behind. Okay, so from now on, when you see patterns, when you see Elliott, when you see anything, just think about price action. Think about what's going on there. What the hell is going on in the market? Why is that happening? Don't just like trace in, oh, there are 3 waves here, let me put an Elliott wave, because that is not gonna help you to make a prediction. When you make a prediction, you really need to know why that happened. If you don't know why that happened, just go look, just trying to understand why. Otherwise, you're never going to improve your logic behind it. And you're just gonna go, oh, it's a flat top, I should buy. That's not that. You don't buy because it's a flat top. You buy because the buyers are trying to push on the resistance, which might break. That's why you buy. Okay. Anyways, I've been talking for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I hope you guys like this price action kind of lesson, explanation, strategy, suggestions, whatever that I use on BTC. This is a strategy that can be used in any coin. In crypto, it's kind of like it has a sense, has a logic, but of course you have to be careful because its wiki is crazy. Okay, but you can apply this strategy to anything, to scalp, to higher time frame, to monthly charts, to anything. Okay, just remember, you need to know which time frame you're trading at and what you need from your trade. If you want scalping, guess where you go, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, because you want quick short trades. You can see the time, right? You see the time here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. You want to make a trade and wait 5 days? If that's the case, you can like make some assumption from here, go even higher time frame. Okay, because this is not gonna help you. Like if you want to make this profit, you just need to look way behind it. Otherwise, you're never gonna know what's going to happen here. You need to know why this thing is going up. Okay, but if you want to make a short trade here, because there is a dump correction and you don't know if it's an impulse or if it's an uptrend, you don't need all this thing here too much. Okay, you just need this little part. So you go 15 minutes and you check that those levels. Okay, so this is price action. I didn't even talk, and I want talk about oscillators, which can be I can explain oscillators in another live stream. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Woo! And I will talk you guys in the chat room. Bye bye.